We officially moved in. Inside is still not 100% complete. We just waited and waited and waited for the well to finish certain things because we needed water to test the plumbing and stuff like that. So definitely didn't go as planned. The inside's still like 98% done, but when you can't finish stuff, you start jumping around, and I have some trim paint that's not painted, some little things that aren't done here and there, but that's okay. Today, we're gonna build a shed now that the well is done. We poured the concrete pad yesterday. Now we're gonna attempt to build the whole shed in one day. See the concrete? We put all our tools here yesterday. And there's the lumber, shingles, door, some soffit and house wrap. And here is the concrete, which we had one of the dogs walk through. So now Bob's footprints will always be remembered. And this is our well. It's a big 80-gallon pressure tank. We got one well. Well, there's the actual well. And then this is the equipment. This is my house, Dave's house, Angela's house. So we did one big well for 3 houses. We ran this orange electrical line all the way to Angelo's barn to get power, so we didn't have to dig another trench and get a meter on the shed. Okay, so first I'm gonna take off the forms, and we're gonna reuse those forms for the plate that starts the walls that we attach to the concrete. Okay, the forms are stripped, and now we're going to reuse this for the plate. We have our straps. Instead of a bunch of anchor bolts, we just use straps because we have so much extra. I put one anchor bolt in the middle because we did have a couple. So the middle of each wall has one, and the corners we have straps because we just have we have so much of it. We bought it. Every house we built, we bought some and kept piling up, and we have like 5 rolls. This concrete we did not finish very nice at all because it's just a well house. Had a million other things to do, so we just poured it and left. So now we're gonna mark 3.5 inches because our 2x4 that we used is 3.5 inches. Want it exactly on the end because we're gonna put some aluminum flashing down here up the wall. 3.5 and 3.5. 3.5. 3.5. I still have my 3-year-old daughter's pencil from her tool bag. It's working pretty good. 3.5. 3.5. Concrete's still a little wet. Not wet, but soft. And the last one. 3.5. And 3.5. I got a 2x4 for the plate, but we have 2x3s to actually build the walls. Just wanted to keep it cheap and good, but cheap. We don't want to overkill. It's just a shed. It's really just to cover this, but we figured we'll make it a little bit bigger. Have some storage in here. Now all I'm doing is marking these bolts, drilling a hole so we can get them through. Let's mark the center and then measure from the outside to the center of the bolt. 2 3/8. Mark. Plate is down, our bolts are on. I put some sill seal foam underneath. Not that I really need it for a shed, but I had it, so why not use it? Now I'm doing the layout. There'll be 16 inches on center. So when I pull layout, 16 inches on center, you just, you pick a corner. So I'll start here, hook my tape on this way, and go mark all my studs. And then the back wall is going to start from the same spot. So from this side over, and then the sides, since I started from here, I'll just start from here, working back. So hook on the front, work back, hook on the front, and work back. Take 3 studs, grab the slot, you nail. I'm just gonna make a sandwich with 2 of them. Now this one on top. Make sure they're all nice and flush. Make that sandwich. This grabs in between 2 of them, and then the next one. Or the third one goes like this, and on a 2x4 it would come out to here, but these are 2x3s, so there we go. That's what it looks like. One big solid piece. That's all 30? Can you cut a couple more little ones in half? I have this laying here. This is the top plate. We want that to match the bottom layout. That way we don't have to mess around with a level. Normally we'd do it a different way. If we were building a house, I would stack all the plates like this. Mark them down the side here. But doing a shed, a little bit different. It's a little smaller. So we're just transferring all these marks. Okay, I got all the top plates done. That's it. So that's layout on the bottom, transfer it to the top. So the important thing when you do layout, you wanna, so it's 16 inches on center, but you don't mark the 16 and the 32. So we hook on the end. We're pulling in that direction. We're 15 1/4, 31 1/4. So you stay 3/4 before each. So the red on the tape measure is every 16. You stay 3/4 before. That way, when you go to do the plywood, our layout is 47 1/4. But when we go to put a half a sheet of plywood, it's in the middle of the stud. The same thing on 8 foot. So if I marked every 16 and the X on this side, when I went to put a half a sheet, it's short. You take away 3/4 when you do the layout of the house. So your plywood and your sheetrock and all the stuff that comes in 8 foot sheets, a 48, a half sheet and a full sheet is in the middle of the stud. If you're just doing it as a homeowner and your first time trying to lay out 16 inches on center, you wouldn't know. So that's what you want to do. You want to stay 3/4 back of every 16 inches. Okay, we stood up all the walls, braced them off. We got the door opening right here. My dad just dropped off some plywood we stole from my brother. We're gonna do the plywood on the walls now, bracing all the roof rafters. Let's just tack up all the plywood. Just gotta finish cutting the door out before we start wrapping the roof on. See, we got different kinds of plywood on the roof, but this is a shed. We're using scrap Just scrap stuff, nothing crazy, nothing special. Looks nice though, mini house. We're gonna put a piece of aluminum along the bottom before that goes down into the dirt before we wrap it. So when we backfill, we don't ever have a problem with here. And this. Oh, you need a knife. Yeah. This is the piece of aluminum we're doing. A little bubble there, but that's okay because all this will be underground, not underground, but graded up to it. So that wraps the whole building, and now the paper's going to come over that. So it just protects everything. This aluminum's coated in PVC, so it'll last a little longer. This is from Home Depot. They have the PVC aluminum and then just a regular aluminum. This is not like a forever thing, but nothing really is. So even if this is like 30, 40 years, that's good. Just roll it out first. Okay, we got it all wrapped up. Got the paper on the roof too, but it's all wrapped. We just gotta put the door on, shingles. We don't have siding yet, but we're just doing the soffit. Using that in all the aluminum fascia. That way it's watertight and bug proof. No wasps, bees, anything like that. You think you're gonna carry that all the way home?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you sure? You know, you saved Daddy from doing the shingles on the shed.
Yeah, you need to do the stickers with me.
You want to do the shingles tomorrow?
Yeah, but I want to do the magnets and stickies.
Magnets and stickies, yeah, but Daddy's got to do the shingles. We got most of it done today, but didn't finish. We didn't do a whole shed in one day.
Hi, September.
September? What does that mean? But we did frame the whole thing and wrap it. So, still did good. So this will be building a whole shed part 1. And then part 2 we'll do the shingles, soffit, aluminum, and the door.